This model kit review is of the Coca-Cola truck, and this is a 1/25th scale model by AMT, and two different options in terms of painting. It also comes with a die-cast vending machine and a dolly, and we'll see if that comes pre-painted. Looks like you have to add decals to it. This is the 1955 Chevy Cameo pickup truck. Here are some of the options there. The features of the actually, here we go, of the truck. Here are the parts listing. So let's have a look inside here. So first of all, here is the here's the dolly and the vending machine. So I guess you'll have to paint them and then add the decals. They're very heavy, made out of metal. Let's have a look at the rest of these sprues. Lots and lots of parts. So first of all, let's look at our cab. And that's fairly well molded. We definitely have some mold lines here, and some flashing you can see there. There's some mold lines there, and need to be sanded, and then a little uneven, that surface there. You can tell it's an older mold, but otherwise not bad. These screws here, we've got our body panels. So here's the fenders. It looks like these are the rear fenders. A little rough on the edges there. Here's our dashboard with a pedal box, steering column, and wheel. Looks like probably our probably a fuel tank here. We've got a folding bench seat with the that's this actual sponge. There's the bottom of the seat and our hood, and then there's our lift gate here. Nicely molded, but again, you can tell it's an older mold. This is the inside of the cab with some details for the door, not a whole lot there. Then we've got our chassis, and then the truck bed, and the inside of the truck bed on the side walls, I guess, there. These screws here, looks like we've got some engine parts. That's part of our exhaust, it looks like. Here we've got, here's our engine with transmission, oil pan. This mold is, oh, the plastic's a little dirty. And then more engine parts here, our leaf spring suspension. Here's our drive shaft, some shock absorbers there. Here's our rear axle, some belts and more engine parts, starter motor, and so on. Nice amount of detail there. Here we've got our wheels, and then there's the muffler with the exhaust. More parts for our suspension, and torsion bar. It's also part of the lift gate there. Here's our engine firewall. We've got our radiator, but molding quality is not that great. You can tell it's an older mold, but a fair amount of parts. Over here we've got our wheels, so you've got two different types here. They're both made out of vinyl, kind of stiff. One's a little wider than the other. And we've got white wall and then red lined tires. Over here we've got our glass. That's nicely molded. Got our front windshield, rear, and then lights. Got a axle here, one single metal axle. And then let's look at our chrome parts. Never really a fan of the sprayed chrome. These are older molds, so they tend to have a bald spot when you cut them off. So when you cut that piece off there, it'll not have chrome on it. We've got our lights, front grille, rear bumper. There's our mirror. We've got two different types of wheels there. And then some emblems, side mirrors, and more bumper parts, engine parts. So let's have a look at our decals here. Here we've got lots of decals for the Coca-Cola truck. We've got white and red ones, depending on which one you want to put on there. Some license plates, and then some additional pictures of the bottles and logos. So let's have a look now at our instructions. This is the old school, looks like one very large sheet. It's got it all together. So start on this side here. This is some details here about the truck. Looks like here we're going to start with the engine. So we'll start building the engine there, and then complete the engine. Next we'll put on our wheels. So the two different options there. White wall tires or red line tires, and then the different wheel options. Here's the dashboard and building the cab. Inside there's our chassis with exhaust pipe and muffler. Now the engine, and then our suspension, front suspension there, and then our rear suspension with the metal axle. Over here we've got the rest of the cab being put together with glass, and then here is our pick up the bed, and then mounting all of that on the chassis. Got all the extra little pieces going on, grille, bumper, so that's actually a extra visor there. It's optional there. And then all the tail pieces and side pieces going on there, and then details for the dolly and vending machine. So obviously this is an older model kit, it's an older mold, lots of details, but it requires some work to get that together.